And it's your daughter's birthday.
And it's my daughter's birthday. So I'll be home in time for the party, so that's what counts. I don't know any better, right? To me, this is the world of ebooks as it stands. It has been moving ridiculously fast. You know, the fact that, you know, a year after Steve Jobs says people don't read anymore, Apple features an ebook reader, classics on an iPhone commercial. Google Book Search. And if you look at these names here, these aren't, you know, guys like us, three guys and a dog. These are Google Book Search, Amazon, Adobe, Indigo kind of being the small guys of only being a $700 million company. It's the biggest Canadian book retailer. Hearst, not a tiny company either. Barnes & Noble acquires Fiction Wise. But the stuff that's been going on and the pace at which all of this has been happening in this industry is you take a week off and you've missed like a crazy amount of stuff. And it's something to realize that this is life, I think, in this space from here on out. And this is at a point where ebooks are less than 1% of the total book sales. Envision 2-3 years from now. Everyone's trying to stake out a claim. Everyone's trying to figure out what they're doing. I mean, you know, just a month ago, the rumors of Apple releasing their media pad had gotten beyond just bloggers. Now it's in Business Week and CNN and CNN. So the space is moving extremely quickly, and you kind of have to keep up with it. And that's just the reality. Most of you are familiar with the IDPF stats. Things have been going crazy through, the numbers are exploding. Again, they're starting from a very, very small base. Ignore the whole numbers here.
They're not necessarily familiar with any of your crowd that's seen this before.
Okay, the IDPF is an industry consortium that creates the EPUB standard. It's one of the formats of ebooks. And basically, what's key about this, don't worry so much about the actual numbers here. It only represents 13 publishers, but these are 13 publishers' wholesale numbers, and they've been the same 13 publishers throughout this period of time. So I think the key point here is the hockey stick effect that you're seeing here. Depending on whose stats you read, PwC talks about kind of $1.4 billion worldwide of ebooks. Depending on whose stats you're reading, but it's somewhere around 0.4% to 1% of the total book market, and it's growing extremely rapidly. Real quick, why is it growing so fast? I think you can pretty much point to Oprah in October as being kind of one of the key people involved in this. Now, just to give you perspective, this isn't the first time Oprah pushed an ebook reader. About 7 or 8 years ago, she said the Rocket ebook reader was her favorite thing. This time it seems a little bit different. And the reason why I think it's different is, again, it's back to the big name vendors. These aren't just small little companies that you haven't heard of before any longer. These are really large companies that are fighting tooth and nail against each other. The hardware has improved dramatically. There's a lot, it seems like every week there's a new ebook reader coming out. The one on the left is the Radius, which is the foldable screen. It's very, very cool looking if it ever sees the light of day beyond the demo. And then netbooks. You want to talk about price points dropping and technology being more accessible to people. The netbooks are starting to create that possibility. Displays are much, much better than they've ever been. E-ink's been a big push on that. And obviously on the mobile devices, we're seeing lots and lots of great color displays. One thing, you're not going to knock me off kilter. I got no shtick beyond what I got, so ask questions as I go along. If I'm not kind of addressing things or not moving fast enough, just tell me. You really are not going to bother me one bit. So this is the world you face. Lots and lots of formats, to your point. Lots and lots of DRM. How you navigate this as publishers is a challenge. It truly is a major challenge, and I think you're going to see even more of this stuff coming before you see a consolidation. Talked about you guys know about all the big players. This is a bunch of people that have, the list on the left have been announced and been talked about. The list on the right have been announced and are supposed to be delivered sometime the rest of the year or 2010.
By the way, we're gonna make these slides available, right?
Sure.
So we're gonna post these slides, so you don't have to take crazy notes, and so we'll post them on the site, and then we'll send around a link to it.
In the mobile reading space, it's the same amount of vendors just going just as big. I had to update this slide this morning because Eucalyptus came out. So it's every other week there seems to be. I mean, keep in mind the iPhone App Store hasn't even reached its 1-year anniversary yet. So to see this many ebook readers, and I'm skipping a bunch, is pretty amazing. And then the standalone book apps, the books section and the books category in the iPhone App Store is the fastest growing category in the App Store. So it gives you an idea. All right, diving real quick into what makes the iPhone great for us is what we've seen is the color display has been huge for us. It's a multifunction device, so lots and lots of people talk about what they're listening to while they're reading, just like the real world. Built-in wireless, obviously, very, very critical. In the App Store itself, there's no way, just so you know, we are a three-person company. There's no way 3 guys could have come out of nowhere like we did and done it had it not been for the App Store being this even playing field. There were vendors that when we launched had 8 years of experience in the ebook space, and we were able to kind of launch and kind of make a name for ourselves, arguably because of the App Store kind of create this even playing field. You have this wonderful situation of user-generated reviews. So if you write a good app, you're in a virtuous cycle and you end up showing up in the top 10 list. And how many people really dig in and go, oh, let me see the number 75 app. It's a vicious cycle if you're not on that front. It's a lot of work to kind of generate the marketing to make noise in the App Store. The App Store is a terrible bookstore. Our numbers, most of them are already talked about, but about over 8 million books have been downloaded. The books are in about 35 different languages. Because of the fact that we're in 60 countries, almost in spite of ourselves, we had to suddenly go, oh gosh, we got to have books in all these languages, and people keep asking for them. And that's part of the reason we integrated Project Gutenberg, because they have lots of books in lots of different languages. We'll go into this in the demo a little bit more. But the app's available in 12 different languages. There's 21 different font options. There's lots and lots of font sizes, lots of font colors, background colors. If you want to throw up a picture of your kid as the background image on your book, you can do that with Stanza. This is probably the thing that has allowed us, that has distinguished us the most. From a publishing perspective, this is absolutely terrifying. You can literally change the cover image of your book. You can change the author's name of your book as it displays in the library section. You can change the paragraph spacing, the paragraph indentation, the font. All of the things that used to go into typesetting a book, we make completely customizable. So it allows for users to truly decide how they want to read. We've gotten huge kudos from the accessibility community because they're like, oh, we need more than just 4 font sizes, or we need more than just large font and small font. In my case, I can't read black letters. I need to be able to read red letters. And there's this huge customization that happened. Lots of publishers used to ask me early on, why are you guys so popular? You don't seem any better than the other applications out there. I said, look, I've read every Twig post, I've read every blog, everything about us. And for the first 2 months, there wasn't a consistent reason why we were so popular. It was different reasons for different people.